This Aoudad hunt in Southwest Texas is a very challenging hunt, both physically and for your long-range shooting ability. I love to hunt big Aoudads in Southwest Texas.
McWhorter Custom Rifles presents.
Perfect. 1,002 yards, 7.300 Win Mag, 180 grain Hornady. Welcome back, folks. This week, Keith, Hall, and I are headed to Southwest Texas to hunt Audads again. We've had really good luck in the past. It's a physically challenging place, and it's going to test our long-range shooting ability. You don't want to miss this.
Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles, McMillan Fiberglass Stocks, Swarovski Optique, Hornady Ammunition, and Borden Accuracy.
You know, if you'd asked me 10 years ago if I wanted to go on an Aoudad hunt, I'd have said, nah, I don't really want to do that. It just wasn't really on my list. But several years ago, I had a friend that told me this was a really challenging hunt. And boys and girls, I promise you, this is. This Aoudad hunt in Southwest Texas, in this mountainous, rocky, hellacious place, is a very challenging hunt, both physically and for your long-range shooting ability. And now it's a preferred destination, and as long as I can still do it physically, I'm gonna go. I love to hunt big Audads in Southwest Texas. Going with me on this hunt, Keith Hall, our true precision long-range hunting and shooting school instructor. The first year we went out here with Keith killed an Aoudad at 938 yards. I was right there with him, calling wind, shot him with a 6.5 Creedmoor, made a perfect shot. We've had another hunt since then, and I killed a really good ram. So he and I both just couldn't wait for this hunt. This is kind of the pinnacle of the hunting season for both physical and long-range shooting. You know you got to be ready for both of them. So the area that we're going to is about a 75,000 acre ranch. It's southwest of Van Horn, Texas. To get to this ranch, it's about 22 hours from my house. So you got to know from that I really want to go Aoudad hunting. It's an all-day drive if you really push it. Most normal people will try to stop overnight. This time I didn't. Keith and I have been out here several times. We've both taken big rams, and I couldn't wait to get out there, so I drove one day all the way to the ranch. So in preparation for this, you know you're gonna get a long shot. I've been out there and killed two other Audads, one at 900, one at 800, and it's not because I was trying to make a long shot. That's just as close as you can get to these with their 10-power vision. It's a really unforgiving type place. I mean, it looks like God just threw rocks and mountains down and sprinkled some dirt on it. There's cactus and prickly pear, everything that sticks you and bites you. It's just the rock slides. It's just a very challenging place to hunt. It's wide open. Your shot chances are probably going to be 500 and beyond unless you get really lucky. The Audads stay up high. We've never seen them down in the bottom areas. They know how to negotiate those hills like nothing you've ever seen. So Keith and I, driving our separate vehicles, we both get there a little late, a little after dark. So we want to shoot our guns before we go on the hunt. So right after daylight the next morning, before all the big Aoudad movement, we decide we're going to go to the range and find something to shoot at a long way off. So I find a rock at 1165, take my SIG out, get my dial up, look at my wind, and hit the rock. Keith wants to shoot my gun on this hunt because we got our new Peak 2.0 stock, and he likes the way it feels, and he just decides that he don't have a whole lot of ammo. He wants to burn mine up. So he wants to shoot this gun, and he wants to hunt with this gun. So I got it dialed up to 21 minutes, hand it to Keith. Keith shoots the rock, hits the rock almost exactly in the middle. So we think we're good to go. We start yapping about something else. And in our hurry to get back in the truck and go hunting, neither one of us remembers to dial that scope back down, which is going to come back to haunt me.
This segment is brought to you by Board & Accuracy, makers of the most accurate custom hunting actions on the market. Manufactured in the USA to true bench rest tolerances. Board & Accuracy equals success.
The preferred mode of hunting here is to take these vehicles and ride around this God-forbidden place, this rocky, nasty, dusty Aoudad habitat, and try to spot them. So we all pile in the truck and we start riding that morning, and the guys that are with us, they kind of know where they had seen some the last couple of days. So they take us out there. We spot several different places. We move, we get a different angle. And finally, we find some sheep way back up the draw, way up the mountain. So we make a plan to get there, and that's where the walking starts. We got Keith, myself, our cameraman Darren, two guides. We're going through over rock after rock, canyon after canyon. We find a creek bottom. We go to where the Audads were. They're not there. We figure they've moved around the face of the mountain, so we drop back in the creek. We keep walking, and finally we find the sheep. I had won the toss the night before, so I'm up first. We find a pretty good ram at about 350 yards, and I'm thinking, man, is this gonna be a chip shot? So I get on the Leofoto, I look at my scope, not really paying attention to the dial window on the Swarovski, which would have tipped me off. I dial up to what I think's 3 minutes.
Give me a quarter, I know, dead hold. He's right there, he's broadside.
And I don't know what happens. I see the bullet hit 30 feet over the ram, a chip shot at 350. I'm looking at the gun. The ram runs out on some rocks. I said, "Chief, what's the deal?" And I put it over in front of Keith. Keith looks at it and he said, "Man, you're double dialed. Instead of 3 minutes, I was shooting 23 minutes. So this chip shot, 350-yard shot, was blown by a simple mistake. I just didn't catch it, didn't dial my scope back down. And I got a dial window there on the Swarovski that says I was on one rotation, so that should have tipped me off. Anyhow, I'm a little distraught. The ram runs out there, he gets behind some rocks. I said, "Here, Keith, you kill the ram." So get Keith on the Leofoto, I'm behind the SIG. The ram comes out at 506 yards. 5 minutes, Keith.
Stop right there. Like that.
He's still the last one.
Stop. No, you keep going down. Keep going down.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for your gun.
Yeah, you're welcome. Keith hits him perfect, high shoulder, bullet passes through. Ram ran about 50 yards, and first day, first morning, Keith's on the board with the first ram, a really good ram.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by Rack 'em Up Roasted Feeds, Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, Surge Pro by Biofac Crop Care, Armageddon Gear, Gun Foam, Metal Spinning Targets, and Mesquite Creek Taxidermy.
Keith had his ram down. He's first on the scoreboard, made a perfect 506-yard shot. The rams run up the hill, they run around the edge, they spooked another group of sheep, continued around the hill, so we decided to get up and move to a better vantage point. We move up the hill, all the sheep are trying to settle down. This position right here is a whole lot better for a prone shot, so I get the backpack up, get the Atlas bipod out. Welcome back, folks. Today I want to talk about how to get ready quickly in the field for a good steady shot. There's a lot of shooting aids out there. I've got a few favorites, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So say I'm on a spot and stalk elk hunt, and I see an elk out there. We got an elk out there at 400 yards. So first thing I'm going to do is squat down, take my Sitka backpack off. I've got my Leofoto Arca rail system in here. Only one strap's going to hold it. I can take it out quickly, put it on the ground, mount my gun, get my dial up. I've got these Uline $12 self-fitting earplugs, put them in, flip my level out, chamber around. My elk's at 400. I've got my shot. Bang, dead elk. Without me yapping, I'm probably 8 seconds from on the ground, rest up, and everything in place to make a shot like that. All right, second thing that I always never leave home without is an Atlas bipod and an Armageddon rear bag. So, same scenario. I see my quarry, chamber around, safety's on. This is a quick attach bipod. I'm on a little bit of a decline, so I'm gonna go ahead and let the slip collars out. Go down, chamber around, safety's on, earplugs back in. I'm on the ground, same elk at 400 yards. Level out. Another dead elk. The bipod, the Arca rail tripod, and the rear bag are gonna let you shoot almost 100% of the time in the field. If I'm sitting in a stand, I can take this Leofoto, jack it up to match me sitting in a chair. If I have high brush, I can jack it up for a standing shot. The bipod is usually going to get you over everything, maybe 12 to 14 inches. This will take you to anything that you can see over, because this will go as tall as you can stand up to shoot. So these things are invaluable in the field. Some things that I just never leave home without, and that's your True Precision Tip of the Week, brought to you by Allan and McWhorter Custom Rifles.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by McWhorter True Precision Long Range Hunting and Shooting School, Tacticam, Leo Photo USA, Sig Sauer, Trigger Tech, Brux Barrels, and Hawkins Precision. This segment is brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, real Texas barbecue.
We move up the hill, all the sheep are trying to settle down. This position right here is a whole lot better for a prone shot, so I get the backpack up, get the Atlas bipod out, get my Armageddon rear bag, and I'm waiting for another sheep to come out that we think's a shooter. So we're looking at sheep horns just over the rocks, and we find another really good long ram that's not even broomed off. I range the rock face, so I'll make sure I got a good, if it's got to be a quick shot, I got a good approximation of what I'm gonna have to dial up. And it's 775 yards basically. So I dial up to 11 minutes. It's about a 12-degree angle uphill. SIG does all that for you. So I'm ready to shoot, and all we're waiting for is this ram to come out from behind the rock. So it seems like an eternity. Finally the ram turns. He walks up the rock, I'm on him, we got the wind call, I squeeze that Trigger Tech trigger, and it just center punches him right at the edge of the shoulder. Why'd you tell me to hold 21 and a half minutes on 380 yards a minute ago?
I'm sorry.
At the crack of the rifle, the sheep turns, starts running down the hill. I can see the exit wound on the opposite side. I mean, he's bleeding good. I know he's center punched. I know he's not gonna go far. He ran 20 yards and piled up on that big rocky hillside. All right, it doesn't happen like this a lot. First day.
First day.
Keith smoked this ram. Had him at 506 yards, I think.
5.6,
yeah, and he dialed up the Swarovski, and he's shooting a 7-300 on our brand new Peak 2.0, and he likes it, I guess.
I love it. The recoil was great on this on that stock. It is definitely a much more smoother recoil with that stock.
So he saw his hit, and this ram didn't go 25 yards maybe, and piled him up. Shot him with 180 grain Hornady ELD M because we wanted to try them on these animals, and it worked real good.
Yep. And also another shout out to those guys, you know, Hidden Creek Outfitters. Once again, you know, they put us on the rams every single time.
Sure did. This was quite the climb, and but it was worth it. This is the second sheep of the first day, and I shot this one and shot him. We both shot him with a 7-300, which is one of our favorite calibers. This one's shooting 3179, and we center punched him, and he ran probably 30 yards, and he's up on here on the top of the world. And if we fell that way, we would not be going home. So this is why we love this hunt. I mean, Bill and his guys, they do a great job with all this. They put us on sheep the first day, and there's nothing easy about this. You don't get to shoot close most of the time, and you don't get to just drive the truck up and throw them in the back either. So this is a real long ram. I don't think he's as old as Keith. He ain't got quite as much mass, but he's got some really long horns. I mean, this is a really good Aoudad. So I'm real excited about taking this on the first day, and
Absolutely.
went all the way through. That's the exit wound there, and entrance wounds on the other side. Did a great job with that ELDM. We wanted to shoot. These are really tough animals, and this thing probably weighs, what, 250, 260 on the hoof? Yeah, and so it did a great job. Just a great sheep, and we doubled up on the first day, and now it's getting dark, and we still got a bunch of work to do, and we got to get back to the truck. Just a lot of fun. This hunt really challenges you, and I can't wait to come back out and do this again. Hidden Creek Outfitters and Bill and everybody that's with him did a great job. On this hunt, I was shooting a 7-300 Win Mag, built on a board in action with a 26-inch Brux straight fluted barrel. our new Peak 2.0 stock. This one was also custom painted tan and olive 2.0 with exposed carbon. Flat dark earth Cerakote, TriggerTech diamond trigger set at 1 pound for me. Hawkins muzzle brake, hybrid rings, and bottom metal. For glass on this one, I had my tried and true Swarovski X5i 3.5 to 18 by 50 with a 4WXI reticle. On this one, I was shooting a 180 grain Hornady ELDM bullet at 3,179 feet a second. I was using an Atlas bipod and an Armageddon reel bag. Unbelievable, the first day we got a twofer. Keith shoots a great ram, I shoot a great ram, and we're done on the first day. 2023 Aoudad hunt is in the books.